Well, guys, it happened. I got. Stick around and find out why. So, where do we start? So yesterday, let me back up. A couple days ago, I got a text from a potential client asking for lawn mowing. Okay. Usually when I get text messages, it's because of Nextdoor. Little note, stick around to the end on Nextdoor, but Nextdoor sucks. It's a lot of chucks and trucks out on there, man. People using the progressive name your price tool. But anyway, back to the moral of the story. I got a text from this client asking if I could mow their grass, and of course I responded with yes, and I sent them the jobber link to fill out a request form to schedule their free quote. Red flag number one, they didn't respond. Usually if you get people who are too lazy or inconvenienced to do something as simple as take 30 seconds and fill out a request form, it's a huge red flag, and it's probably not somebody you want to deal with. But anyway, my fault. I let it go. A couple hours went by, texted him back, hey, just following up on this. I get a response back in a text form, just, hey, how much would you charge? Okay, well, let me get your address at least. Second red flag, I did it to myself because I kind of quoted it sight unseen, which is a giant no-no, and I keep trying to remind myself not to do that, and yet somehow I did it anyway. But anyway, she sent me the address. It's just under a third of an acre. I asked if they wanted weekly, bi-weekly. They responded with one time. Red flag number 3. If somebody wants a one-time service, chances are the property is way overgrown. That tells me that they don't have somebody that routinely maintains it, that they don't routinely maintain it, that it's gotten to the point of out of control where they just don't want to deal with it. It's also August. Granted, it's the end of August, but it's still August. So that's red flag number 3. I gave her a quote. I said, look, on a one time, you'd be at $79. Worst case scenario, $99. All depends on the amount of overgrowth when we get there. They respond with, okay. So I texted them back. Okay, question mark. Would you like to proceed? Get on the schedule? Do you have any other questions? And they said, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Numerous red flags here, but dummy me, I keep going. And I ask when it'll work. I ask for their full name, their email, that kind of stuff, so I can go ahead and send them an actual quote through Jobber for them to review and approve. So I did that. I got their info, sent them that, worked out scheduling. One of the people that, yeah, I work until 5, so it's got to be after that. Like, no, that's not how it works. You don't have to be present. Again, another red flag, dummy me. First time doing something for somebody, especially in a one-time cut, you probably should meet them face to face. Anyway, I didn't. I've got all these things in the background telling me this is a bad idea, but I push through and do it anyway. So I get to this house yesterday, and of course it's overgrown. Grass is a foot tall in the front, 2 feet tall in the back. There's trash all over the place. There's skateboards, kids' toys, stuff just laying all over the place. And again, I'm like, okay, I take pictures, I'm already there, let me just knock it out. I pick up a lot of the trash, I edge the driveway, I edge the front sidewalk, I edge the curb out front, I go all the way around this house. I spend probably 30 minutes just on string trimming and edging because it was so overgrown. Then I get on the mower and come to find out there's a drainage ditch. There's a corrugated pipe on the side of the house that runs down from the gutter, and this thing is buried by 2 feet of grass. So maybe I damaged it where I ran over it in one spot, maybe not. The pipe definitely needed to be replaced anyway, because once I cleaned it all up, you could see where it's all cracked and has previous holes and damage and all kinds of stuff from areas that I didn't even touch. But anyway, so I do all this. I move kids' toys, I move trash cans, you know, I move a lot of stuff out of the way to make it look presentable. Now, obviously, this grass is 2 feet tall. I send the lady the pictures. I'm done. She says thank you. I send her the invoice. She then texted me and said, there's still weeds in the flower beds. The job looks incomplete. All right. So now I have to reiterate to her that that's not what we discussed. We didn't talk about anything as far as weeds in the flower beds go. The scope of work in the quote outlines that we are going to mow the front and the backyard, string trim what needs to be string trimmed, edge what needs to be edged, and blow all the grass clippings. Okay. So then she asked how much extra to come back and pull weeds out of her flower beds. And at this point, I really don't want to do it anyway, but I tell her $60. Like an hour and a half goes by, she texts me back. She says, what happened to edging the flower beds? And I just asked her for a picture of what she's talking about, because again, mind you, it's completely overgrown. She sends me back 12 pictures. And she says that the quality of work is unacceptable, that she hired a professional lawn care company, and that her teenage son could have done a better job. One, why didn't your teenage son do it? Why did you call me in the first place? Two, she complained about the grass clippings, not really grass clippings, the weed clippings from string trimming the 2 feet of overgrowth that were laying there. We never talked about bagging anything. The yard was severely overgrown. Now again, that's my fault for not setting the expectation and letting her know what it would be. But come on, she complained about that. She complained about grass clippings in her flower beds. Mind you, you can't even see her flower beds because they're filled with weeds. So how are there grass clippings in there? Then she complains that there's a piece of grass in the driveway under an old ice cream truck and a skateboard that wasn't taken out of the driveway. Sends me a picture of that. And again, it's like, you didn't bother picking anything up. You didn't move any cars in the driveway. In our client agreement, it specifically states that it is your responsibility that anything that you do not want potentially damaged, ran over, any of that needs to be clearly marked. All children's toys and all that kind of stuff needs to be picked up. The property needs to be 100% accessible for everything that you want done. It's not my job to pick up your kids' toys. It's not my job to move your 20 flower pots to get to the 2 foot overgrown weeds up against your shed. That's not my job, okay? And I quoted this lady $80. Even after all the overgrowth, I didn't even charge her the extra 20. I said, you know what? I'll just go with the 79. That's what I quoted her, cool. After that text message, when she sent me all of those pictures complaining and going off and on about this, at that point, I'm done. You know what? I appreciate the time. Sorry that you're unhappy with the level of service that was provided. Even though your property now has so much more curb appeal and is 120% in better condition than it was prior to our arrival, this one's on the house, and enjoy the rest of your day. You're gonna run into people like that. It took me quite a few. It took me about 25 clients to finally get one, but I knew it was coming. Everybody deals with it. So I just wanted to make this quick rant and just talk about the stuff that we deal with. You had all this expectation for $80 for somebody to come string trim your entire yard, edge everything meticulous and flawlessly, bag your grass, hand pull weeds out of your flower beds. This stuff hasn't been touched since at least the spring. It probably hasn't been touched since last year. But you want to sit here and expect all of that with a professional company for $80? Come on, man. But again, it's my fault. I didn't set that expectation. I didn't meet the client face to face. I didn't do an in-person quote and see the property prior to me telling them how much it cost. So ultimately, as a business owner, I got to take it on the chin, man. I can do one of two things. I can either go back out there, do everything she wants and not charge anymore. And in reality, she's probably still not going to pay the $80 that she owes me, and I'm wasting even more time to make somebody happy. That's the kind of person that you will never make happy. So I just cut my ties. I said, you know what? This one's on the house. I'm sorry that we didn't live up to your expectation. Have a blessed day. Simple as that. I'll take the $80 on the chin. It is what it is. I wasted my time. I wasted my gas. But again, I'm not going to tolerate it. I'm not going to deal with people like that. I'm not going to put my crew in position to deal with people like that. I'm just not going to do it. It's the hassle and the headache isn't worth the minimal return on investment, especially again, one time. Come on. So many red flags. You had the can't fill out the request form. You had the takes forever and a day to respond. You have the vague responses. You have the can't meet you face to face kind of thing. Want an expectation of it after hours. Like, I'm not running a business working a 9 to 5 or an 8 to 5 or whatever myself. The last thing I'm going to do is come cut your grass at 7 o'clock at night because that's when you're free. That's not how it works. There's chucks and trucks for that. Those are the people that she wanted. She wanted somebody that she could pay $40, $60, whatever, and get her yard meticulous. She thinks for $80 she was going to get a full yard cleanup, stuff bagged, debris hauled away, all her trash picked up, all her toys neatly put away. We're not doing that. That's not what you paid for. That's not what you said. You said you wanted your grass cut. I don't mean to keep rambling. It just really pissed me off. But again, it is what it is. It's an $80 loss. I wasted, collectively probably about an hour and 45 minutes of my day yesterday. About a half hour in drive time there and back, and then about an hour and 15 minutes I spent on the property as far as, doing what I do, what we do. And yeah, it sucks, man, but sometimes it be like that, right? So again, make sure you ask these questions. Make sure that you stick to your guns, stick to your policies, whatever policies and procedures you put in place when you started your business. Like, I'm only going to do estimates or requests or whatever if I'm using Jobber and they fill out a Jobber link. Stick to that, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Stick to what you are going to do. If it is your business practice and policy that you must meet all clients face to face and get a general walkthrough of the property to get an understanding of what their expectation is, stick to that. Stick to that. If they can't meet you during normal business hours and you don't want to do it on the weekend or after hours or whatever, stick to that. It's not your problem. Like, that sounds shitty, but the reality of it is we're all running businesses too. These people go to work, they work a 9 to 5. I'm running a business. I work an 8 to 5. So $80 isn't going to make or break me. Your 1 yard isn't going to make or break me. Granted, again, with all these other feelers, if you have the mindset and the thought process that this is a very good client, then by all means, after hours on a weekend, go meet them. Give them the estimate. Because again, if you never do that, you're not going to get the money. But don't bend over backwards for people who give you bad vibes, red flags all over the place. It's not worth it. I've rambled a little bit too much. Again, I just want to reiterate, stick to your policies, your practices, and do what you do. Don't worry about anything else. You're not going to please every person. It's impossible. There's always going to be one. There, at least. It's probably going to be multiple, but there's always going to be somebody that is not satisfied with anything that you do. It doesn't matter what it is. You're not going to make them happy. So please leave a comment down below and let me know of any kind of instance that you ran into with the same scenario where, against your better judgment, you went ahead and did what you thought was the right thing to do, whether that's you're trying to increase your clientele base, you're trying to make a buck. I'm not mad at you. That's why we're in business. We're in business to make money, and we want to do everything we can to make money. But yes, please leave a comment down below and let me know of any situation that has arisen in your case dealing with shitty clients. Until next time.